Bro, that's what it's all about, bro. We hunt like wild dogs. Let's get it. Gang on me, gang on 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah!
The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sash, with a silver hat about his head, and a bristling black mustache. He growls as he storms the country, a villain big and bold. And the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
The trade deadline has come and gone. What did the Las Vegas Raiders do? Nothing big. They just traded receiver Jakobi Meyers. There's a debate among some of you if it's a big trade or not, but I'll just put it like this. If it was such a big trade and Meyers was so great, the Jacksonville Jaguars would have given the Raiders more than the 4th and 6th round picks they gave them. It's kind of funny that it worked out this way, because the Jaguars weren't even mentioned to be among the teams in on them. The game did change once receiver corner Travis Hunter went down with a knee injury, though. I couldn't be happier Meyers is no longer a Raider. Those that are saddened by his departure, don't be. He's where he wants to be, which is away from the Raiders. Remember, he asked for the trade at the beginning of the season. The Raiders aren't playing for this year anyway. They're playing for the future, and the picks the Raiders got in the trade gives them 10 in the 2026 NFL Draft. And if you look at it, the draft picks aren't the only reason why the trade is good for the Raiders' future. The trade affects the Raiders' future for the better in other ways, too. Okay, we all know that tight end Brock Bowers is the number 1 receiver on this team, right? The number 1 option in the passing game anyway. It sure was nice to see him back on Sunday, wasn't it? Well, now it's time for Trey Tucker to continue to emerge as the team's wide receiver 1. I say continue to because I believe Tucker's already taken over that spot. He leads the Raiders in receiving yards with 427 and touchdowns with 4. Meyers has 352 yards and no touchdowns. Meyers does have one more catch than Tucker, though. I think Tucker's a better complementary receiver to Bowers. The best thing you could do for a great tight end is surround him with speed. I'm sure you remember Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. And if you want to dig into Raider history, there's Dave Casper and Cliff Branch, and also Todd Christensen and Branch. Opposing safeties have to choose who they want to double, and if you want to put 2 safeties back there to double both, the box is light so the Raiders can get running back Ashton Jeanty in the running game going. Again, the more speed you put around a great tight end, the better. Chiefs always have a track team around Kelce, so having Dante Thornton in there with a guy like Tucker would be good for the Raider offense. I know we haven't seen it yet, but this Thornton kid could really be special. 6'5", running a 4.30 40, that's crazy. Once he learns to work with all that, the game is over for NFL corners. It's pretty hard to defend a guy that can run by you and catch the ball over you. DK Metcalf was obviously the guy that head coach Pete Carroll was thinking of when he took him in the 4th round of the 2025 NFL Draft. Thornton's actually an inch taller and a hair faster over 40 yards. That gives him the potential to be the ultimate deep threat. His height makes him a good candidate to help Bowers out in the red zone too. We haven't seen any of this yet. That would require the Raiders to throw him the ball. That wasn't happening before with Meyers taking all the targets he was taking, but now that he's gone, more targets should open up for Thornton to develop. Now that the Raiders have Bowers and Michael Mayer healthy, they're a 2 tight end team. They lined up in 12 personnel somewhere around 60% of the time Sunday, and the Raiders had their highest point total of the season, so we can look forward to seeing more of that. With all the work Mayer can do over the middle and underneath, they don't need a slot receiver. At least not a lot. Mayer's a tight end that's a passing game weapon, and Bowers is a passing game weapon that's a tight end. You know the difference, right? Either way, the Raiders can line up in 12 personnel and have their passing formation be their running formation. That gives opposing defenses a lot less of an idea of what's coming. So far this season, Mayer only has 15 catches on 23 targets for 133 yards and a touchdown. With Meyer's departure, the Raiders will probably line up in 12 personnel even more. More targets will also open up for Mayer, which means more production. Mayer doesn't play the same position as Meyers, but he'll be a big beneficiary of his departure. Of course, second round pick Jack Bech is expected to get more of a shot too. I don't know what happened with him. He gets picked in the second round, he's expected to do something. Then Thornton has a great training camp and looks like he's going to take his spot. Then Bech is back in the competition again. That's life in the NFL for a rookie, especially when your competition's a rookie. Both of you guys are so inconsistent they alternate between the two of you. Both Bech and Thornton are uber talented, so it'll be interesting to see who eats into who's playing time. It might not come to that though, because Meyers was a big slot and the Raiders might be putting Bech in that spot. I believe he was a big slot in Meyers' stead when he was injured. The only thing now is Tyler Lockett is here and he plays in the slot. It makes more sense to go with the youth movement now that the season is what it is, but who knows? Carroll has his guys and Lockett is definitely one of them. Carroll's been heard in the media saying he wants to see Bech play more too, so we'll see how this ends up. Genty stands to be a beneficiary of Meyers leaving too. He should have more carries running the ball, but since offensive coordinator Chip Kelly's so obsessed with passing, the Raiders should start throwing him more passes. He's a good receiver out of the backfield. He's actually second on the team in touchdown receptions with 3. Did you see his touchdown reception Sunday? If you did, you saw opposing defensive players had little to no chance of bringing him down one-on-one in open space. He can freeze you, shake you, stiff arm you, or straight up break your tackle attempt. And if you're a defensive back, he can truck you. Yeah, that's not the guy you want to try to tackle in the open or broken field. With the traits he has, I'm really trying to figure out why the Raiders don't hit him more on screens. Instead of bubble screens to receivers, maybe Kelly should try more of that. It doesn't have to be screens or checkdowns with Genty either. You can hit him deep down the field for big plays too. You can even line him up out wide. He should really get the ball more with Meyers gone. You're going to have to excuse me for not being overly emotional for a player that wanted to be traded leaving, especially when he's not a game changer of any sort. I thought he could have asked for that trade during the offseason, but that's just me. Anyway, Meyers' departure is leading to opportunities for young players to develop. Of course, there's Bowers in year 2, and he's going to lead the way for the Raiders as far as catching the ball goes. Tucker's in year 3, and he appears to have already taken the wide receiver 1 spot. We'll see what rookies Thornton and Bech could do. And Genty, he should definitely get the opportunity to catch and carry the ball more. Thank you for watching. See you next time.